Amazon Prime's Fallout television series has been massively successful, nearly immediately renewed for a second season and being nominated for 17 Emmys. While its Emmy nominations certainly stand to suggest the merits of the show on its own, it can't be denied that it owes its success, in no small part, to being an adaptation of a beloved video game franchise of the same name. If you have Fallout game fans in your life, chances are you're well aware they're fans because they will absolutely tell you. Players of the games are some of the most die-hard and vocal fans I have ever had the pleasure of meeting and conversing with. Even when they criticize aspects of the game, such as its many bugs and glitches, it's easy to tell that it comes from a place of passion. People love Fallout. But what if you've never played it? What if you're just not that into video games? Maybe, like I did when the series aired, you're wondering whether you have to play the games to enjoy the show. Perhaps you're one of those people, also like me, who always wants to read the books before watching the movie, who wants to see the original before the remake, or whatever else. But with so many adaptations, sequels, prequels, spin-offs, and remakes out there these days, keeping up with source material for new movies and shows can be a daunting task. Not everyone has hundreds of hours to sink into a video game, even if they like video games. With 8 games in total, including things like Fallout Shelter, a simple mobile game, it's enough to turn would-be fans away from such adaptations like Fallout. People may fear that there's just too much history and lore that they don't understand to be able to properly enjoy the show. I'm here today to tell you that you have nothing to worry about, and assure you that you don't need to have played the games to enjoy the show. And take that from someone who had never touched a Fallout game until after I watched the series.
Hello there. I'm here to show you a wonderful place.
So let's get into why you don't need to have played the games to enjoy the show, and why playing the games beforehand may actually be a hindrance. Now, of course, as with any adaptation, knowledge of the source material will certainly enhance your understanding of the universe and the underlying themes of the show. And I get that, it's enticing to be in the know. I think we can all agree it's fun to watch something we know a lot about, where we can catch all those fun little Easter eggs and where we can feel like we're in on some massive secret. But again, as someone who never played before watching, the show does an excellent job of introducing its characters and lore in a way that intrigues but never makes you feel like you're missing something. Well, okay, I'll confess that after the first episode, I felt like I was missing some stuff. But I powered through, and I couldn't be more glad that I did. And if you watched any of the show and thought, nah, I don't know, I just don't understand what's going on, I encourage you to stick with it. Don't give up on it too easily. It's really just one of those situations where it only feels like you're missing something because you know the information is out there somewhere. But the way the show handles introducing the audience to the lore of its universe, from its ghouls to its gulpers, is no different than any other sci-fi media. We're introduced to the wasteland through one of the 3 principal characters.
My name is Lucy McLean.
Who grew up in a vault. A Fallout Shelter. The character is as ignorant of the world on the surface as we uninitiated viewers are.
Hey, can I ask you a favor?
Okay.
Can you tell me what's happened in the last 200 years?
What do you mean?
Just the last 200 years, like a quick rundown. I know about the Great War and the bombs falling and the 320 years of American history before then. I just need help with the last 200 years.
Allowing us to discover the perils of the wasteland right alongside her. Even the characters who grew up on the surface have a lot to learn about the world they live in.
I had no idea people lived in those vaults.
What did you think was in them?
Monsters.
And even more to learn about how it got to be the way that it is. And that's all part of our journey as viewers too. And it's a well-paced and well-written journey. Even as you watch and hear of things you're unfamiliar with, it's done in such a way that it's clear that you're not supposed to know yet. All will be revealed in time. And you're no further behind in your understanding than the characters in the show themselves. What's also great about the Fallout series, and what sets it apart from something like The Last of Us, which is often considered to be the best video game adaptation of all time, is that it doesn't follow a story straight out of one of the games. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with retelling a story, adapting it to a TV series format from a game, and The Last of Us is proof of that. But in the case of Fallout, one of the best things about it is that it introduces us to a brand new story. While there are, of course, ties to the games, they're not so intrinsically linked as to make viewers feel like they're missing crucial details. Whether you've played the games or not, the story itself is fresh and ready to be enjoyed by anyone. They're playing around in a well-established sandbox, yeah, but with brand new toys. And who doesn't love a shiny new toy? And sure, longtime fans of the series who have played for decades may have a deeper understanding of the world and have a better idea of where things are headed in the future. That can hinder enjoyment just as much as it can enhance it. Sometimes it's better to go in blind and enjoy the journey of discovering the meaning behind those smaller details as you go. Put those puzzle pieces together yourself. After all, that's what makes video games with stories like Fallout so much fun. Not knowing everything, but discovering everything. So if you've never played, there's so much to discover in just the first season alone. Enough intrigue to suck you in, and then that sweet satisfaction of it all coming together in the finale. Besides, the show doesn't strictly follow the lore established in the games. I've seen many a heated debate about timelines and aspects of the show that are either brand new to the series or even directly contradict the games themselves. While the show may draw from an established universe, it can be looked at as a standalone project. Even the creators themselves have said so. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's an alternate universe, but it certainly plays around with what's already there enough for it to feel new to longtime players and non-gamers alike. It offers plenty of surprises for everyone. If you've never played the games, whether you ever plan to or not, you also won't have expectations getting in your way. I'm sure we've all been there at one time in our lives or another, where we eagerly awaited that remake, that live-action adaptation, or whatever else, only to be supremely disappointed by the finished product. Not always because it was objectively bad, though sometimes that is the case, but because it failed to live up to our expectations. It wasn't exactly how we wanted it to be. But really, was it ever going to be just how we wanted it? Of course not. And with Fallout, you won't have to worry about any of that nonsense if you watch the show without playing the games. It'll be a fresh, untainted experience, not bogged down by the weight of impossible expectations. And in a time where we're inundated with media from established IPs, getting to experience a rich and intriguing world like that in Fallout for the first time is a precious commodity and should be treasured. It has to be said that the show offers a beautiful introduction to the franchise for newcomers. At the end of the day, play the games, don't play the games, and certainly don't let a YouTuber like myself tell you what to do. But let it be known that anyone telling you that you need to play the games to enjoy the show is doing you a disservice. Fallout is a captivating show with a cast of characters that endear you from the very moment they're introduced. It's well written, it's funny, it's heartbreaking, and it's a little wacky all at once.
You wouldn't have to put up with me for too long. This could all be yours.
I'm okay. Thank you.
It's a show that keeps you guessing. Will it make you want to play the games? Sure, if you already enjoy video games, but you don't need to play to enjoy the show. It's not just a video game adaptation. It's a show about the end of the world.
Everyone wants to save the world, they disagree on how.
And about how living through the horrors of a nuclear fallout can change a person. It just so happens to be based on a beloved video game franchise. So do yourself a favor and run, don't walk, check out Fallout, streaming now on Amazon Prime.